There was 10 record long-range strikes on Russia in the first half of 2024. This is the map of the strikes from the armed forces of Ukraine's Stratcom. According to the infographic, the deepest strike was on Orsk, 1,800 kilometers. Truly astonishing for a country attacked by a militarily, economically, territorially, and population-wise superior opponent. And a disgrace for a country presenting itself as the world's second military power. And this is Leningrad district, Krasnodar after an Ukrainian drone attack. And this refinery in Krasnodar is still burning. It does not look like they will be able to put it off very fast. Also, there is not a way for this facility to operate anytime soon.
Горит нефтебаза. Приехали в 4 утра.
The Drone Systems Battalion of the 63rd Mechanized Brigade, with the assistance of the Artillery Division's intelligence, successfully destroyed another Russian tank. A captured Russian mercenary, probably from Southwest Asia. Ukrainians taught him how to greet the Russian president. Modi to seek early discharge of Indians from Russian army in Moscow talks, reports Reuters. During Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Moscow next week, the early discharge of Indian nationals misled into serving in the Russian army will be discussed, according to his foreign secretary. Over the past few months, several cases of Indians lured to Russia with promises of lucrative jobs or education ended up fighting against Ukraine have emerged. In May, Indian police arrested 4 individuals linked to a human trafficking network involved in this practice. At least 4 Indian nationals have been killed in the war so far, prompting Modi's government to call for an immediate stop to such recruitment and quick release of Indians fighting in the army. India estimates anywhere between 30 and 40 of its citizens could be already serving, Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra told a media briefing on Friday. All efforts have been made that Indian nationals return as soon as possible, he said, adding that 10 Indians have already been brought back. Serhiy Flash reports that Ukrainians have a method to find Russian drones and destroy them with FPV drones by looking for specific radio signals. Several Russian drones are destroyed every day. Russian propagandist Mardan. I would very much like to believe, very much like to hope, that the Ukrainian energy system will be finished. My devout wish is that there will be no electricity in Ukraine at all.
Очень хочется верить, вот очень хочется надеяться, что украинская энергосистема будет добита. Вот мое заветное желание, честно, вот простите меня, ничего не могу с этим поделать, чтобы на Украине вообще не было электричества, кроме того, которое работает от бензиновых, дизельных электрогенераторов. Для этого осталось всего ничего на самом деле. Для этого нужно уничтожить открытые распределительные электросистемы 2 атомных АЭС, Южной и Хмельницкой, после чего они перестанут выдавать электрический ток, после чего на Украине электричества просто не будет. Я понимаю, что здесь начнется хайп, подключится МАГАТЭ, бла-бла-бла. Да плевать на эту МАГАТЭ.
We have repeatedly received signals that the Taliban are ready to cooperate with Russia in various areas, including in counterterrorism. We welcome this, said Putin. Well, that's appropriate. One terrorist state with another.
Планирует ли Россия исключать Талибан из списка запрещенных организаций? И если да, то когда это может произойти? Спасибо.
Я уже сказал, что мы в контакте с движением Талибан. Мы неоднократно получали сигналы о том, что движение Талибан готово сотрудничать с Россией по разным направлениям, в том числе и на антитеррористическом треке, и мы это приветствуем.
Z military blogger Romanov gives a candid assessment of the Russian army in 10-min-long video. The activity of FPV drones of the armed forces of Ukraine is very high, and the intensity of the use of cluster 155mm projectiles has become less than during the attack of the armed forces of Ukraine on Robotino. FPV drones of the armed forces fly both in the Kharkiv region and in the border regions of the Russian Federation. Baba Yaga bomber drones fly at night. The price of the offensive on Vovchansk costs the armed forces of the Russian Federation a third of the loss of personnel, as during the offensive on Avdiivka, it is more in reality. The offensive on Vovchansk is commanded by the Russian general Lapin, who distinguished himself by commanding the unsuccessful crossing of the Russian armed forces across the Siversky Donets River in 2022. The Russian armed forces in Vovchansk lack coordination of actions. There are cases when Russian soldiers storm a building that is already under their control and suffer losses. Notes the successful work of Birds of Magyar. In the Kharkiv area, there are many FPV wings of the armed forces with repeaters, due to which they fly at long distances and hit targets. The Russian armed forces wanted to move the border by 15 kilometers so that the Ukrainian armed forces could not fire at the Belgorod region. But it is impossible to do this, because in the direction of the armed forces, there are M142 HIMARS and Patriot air defense systems under the cover of electronic warfare. The armed forces of Ukraine are accumulating and transferring some reserves from the Zaporozhye direction to the Kharkiv direction. Russians are waiting for the offensive of the Russian armed forces in the direction of Sumy, but the armed forces of Ukraine know about it. The Pantsir-S are the most effective system for combating Ukrainian attack drones, but they stood at the same positions in the Belgorod region, and therefore they were destroyed. And then kamikaze drones of the armed forces of Ukraine flew into the region. On the border with the Kharkiv region, there are Russian soldiers, and behind them are TikTokers, Kadyrovites. There are 7,000 former fighters of the Wagner PMC in Belarus.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.